Alright guys, while I'm processing this firewood, something just kind of dawned on me. A little tip here. I've actually been questioned about this on the channel before. Just trying to get this bark off. Why don't you cut your firewood all the way through? Often I do, sometimes I don't. It's not because I'm too tired or I'm just lazy. It's actually a strategy to it, and it's actually something that I've never really, I don't think I've mentioned it on the channel before, but I'm just going to cut this. Cut that one all the way through, and you guys see it's flush. Can't really do anything with it. Well, cutting these to stove length as well, so mark this out. I'm not going to cut this one all the way through. I'm going to go shy just a little bit. Okay, so picture this being shorter where I can actually snap it. I'm going to snap it right here, and what it'll do is give me a little tag end like that. So if you split your wood and you get a little tag end like that, one, you're cutting your wood to length, so you're getting that cut, but you're also getting a piece of kindling. You just take it, smack it on something. That'll finish the crack. Snap it. You can use that inside, outside. That's ready to go. It's already split. The flame's going to grab that in the wood stove. If you do your cut deeper, it'll cause this piece to break off shorter. That one was only halfway through, so it took off half the other piece. The same can be said on that piece right there. So I'll show you guys again. Cut this one a little bit deeper than the other one. Quite a bit deeper. So that actually broke off pretty even because the piece that was left over on the last piece was already cracked. So I'll start a fresh piece here. We'll cut this one a little deeper. So that's about 3/4 of the way through. Snap it off. We got that big piece there. Break it, and it's thin enough that we can actually just break it down. So the deeper you do your cut, the shorter that'll break off, and you end up with all these little wood chips, which are excellent for starting a fire. So that is the reason why it might seem like I'm getting lazy halfway through and I'm cutting half with the wood and then snapping it, is because I'm doing 3 steps in one. I'm cutting my wood, I'm splitting my first log, and I'm getting some kindling out of it at the same time. So a little tip for you guys out there, if you're wondering how to speed up firewood process, something like that, I could cut it down and put it in the wood stove. I probably will, but I would also use that outside, so could also throw it in the fire. So just a little tip there. I'm going to get this cut up. I'm not going to touch this log. I do have a bunch of this stuff kicking around though. Just got to strip the bark off of it. And like I said, I'm going to leave the log. I'm going to split and cut this, use this for inside the wood stove. I've got another round about the exact same size as this right next to the fire pit. I'm going to prep that, and then I'm going to start on supper. All right, guys, it is now getting later in the evening. Sun is setting right now, and I'm starving. I've got to get some food on the go. So I'm doing something a little interesting. First of all, I'll mention, okay, I've got my meat jammed all the way in the bottom, which is thawed out now, which is 2 small chicken breasts. Usually what I do when I'm hiking in somewhat warm weather is wrap this up in clothing, and that's exactly what I did during the daytime is I wrapped it up in some clothing. So I got my sleep clothing in here, socks, base layers, wrap it up frozen. It's basically thawed out now, so I've got some chicken that I've got to cook up quickly because I don't want that getting warm. And then the same thing with like spinach. So I've got a bag of spinach here. It didn't wilt out too bad. It's actually pretty good right now. That was inside of my pot, along with a pepper. And what else do I got in here? I have half a red onion that was also jammed in the bottom with the chicken there to keep that cold. I've got a Ziploc baggie full of bacon Caesar dressing. And then I've got some of these naan breads. Can't go wrong with naan breads. So to protect these, what I do is I slide them in my water bladder sleeve in the back of the backpack because I don't use an actual water bladder. So this goes in the hydration sleeve to keep them nice and flat along with the cutting board. And that gives it some nice rigidity so it doesn't fold over. Boomer's got his dog food here, so I want to get this ready so he can eat right now. He's already had water. And I've got to prep all this food and show you guys what I'm going to be having for dinner because, I mean, it might be pretty straightforward right now. Some of you are probably thinking, what are you doing? Yeah, so let's just get prepping some food, get it over the fire on the sticks, and start cooking over that campfire. All right, guys, so we've got food cooking over the open fire right now. Red onion, red pepper, and chicken breast seasoned with Montreal steak seasoning. This is the first time I've cracked into a cold one on the channel in probably 2.5 years. Very long time. Like I said, immersing myself in the old days. Going way back to get this feeling of where did I leave off? You know, gear, toys, this and that. I want to get back to simplicity. Like I said earlier, sure, I'm still going to be overlanding and doing all those trips, big extravagant campouts. But right now, looking at this tent and looking at this fire, especially with that food over there, this is where it's at. Honestly, this is where it's at. So, Boomer is going to be treated to some chicken breast as well. He's got his dog food over there, which I can tell he's looking at it like, I know what's cooking right now. So he's waiting for that chicken breast. We're going to be chilling out here for a little while. I got to keep a very close eye on that fire because I don't want to burn the chicken. Starting to kick up right now, so I'm probably going to have to lift those sticks up. This is going to be a low and long, kind of slow cooking process. I love it because it's almost methodical. You're almost like babying your food in a sense. Get a little bit of char on that, let it do its thing. I know I can see the flames. So we'll let that do its thing. Kick back and enjoy this brew, and basically wait for it to get dark. I'm looking over the tent right now. I've got more than enough wood in there for the night. What I think I'm going to do is once it gets a little bit darker out, spark that up, light it, and see how it does. The bottom of the ground of the earth underneath of it is clear of leaves and debris. I'm probably going to put 2 or 3 rocks underneath the wood stove just to be safe. The pipe is well high enough with that spark arrestor that I don't have any issues with sparks landing on that burning hardwood. And yeah, take care of that food. Hopefully that'll be done soon, be able to eat and then enjoy nightlife. So, cheers guys. Cold one and campfire. All right, guys, ducking inside of the tent right now. The rain has started to come in. It's pausing for a moment, but there is a huge black cloud on its way this way. So fingers crossed, hopefully we get dumped on with rain, because I am ready for it. I've been waiting for it. So right now I've got the front door wide open. The rain can come down there, no problem. All the wood's pushed back, so I can leave that open all night long and let all this heat out, because right now, whew, it is roasting in here. I've got the back door wide open too. So what I'm gonna do is get changed out of my pants and this shirt, put on some base layers and new socks, fresh everything, and get comfortable and basically just lounge inside of the tent, waiting for that rain to come back. So time to get comfortable for sure. All right, so having this second vestibule is definitely very enjoyable. I gotta say, one person in this tent is incredible, absolutely incredible. I'm already noticing some mosquitoes up here, which I'm not really happy about. They're not in the tent. Honestly, I think it's too hot in here for them. They're just kind of floating around in the vestibule area, so I'm gonna have to zip this bug closure closed for tonight for sure. On this side, I did leave the footprint, the ground sheet, in the vestibule, so I do need to close the solid door as well, because otherwise that'll cover with water and it'll go into the tent. Everything will get wet, so I'm going to close that. But this is a great addition to be able just to kind of like lounge in here, throw your stuff down on the ground. I did bring a rain jacket, so I just had that on a moment ago and the rain stopped. But this is great to like throw my rain jacket over there, my backpack. Got my boots over here, base layers, all kinds of stuff. So definitely leave the vestibule open with the ground sheet. Very, very nice. For my base layers, I want to talk about clothing for a minute, because hiking clothing and backpacking clothing has been a hot topic for me lately. I've been revamping my wardrobe, let's say, reaching out to companies, and so far so good. So right now I'm wearing the Fjallraven G1000 Kebs for men. I've got like 3 pairs of these now. I've got the green, the orange, and this brown. These pants, absolutely love them. Absolutely. Non-sponsored, absolutely not sponsored, but I love these pants. You'll be seeing me wear these almost every video. No joke. So definitely good pants. That's all I gotta say about that. They're expensive, but I understand why now. Base layers, these are actually new. So these are from Nature Hike, and just as adaptive comfort. These things have an incredible feel to them. I can't remember the name of them, but they claim to have like some aerospace technology in it, where it like cools your body when it's cool and then like heats it when it's needing heat. Kind of strange. But these are incredibly comfortable, very, very fitting, super slippery is the point that I want to make. So I love wearing base layers when I'm in my down sleeping bag, because I can like alligator roll and the bag doesn't follow me. So having these nice and tight on my body, I can just move in the bag and it doesn't grab a hold of me. And besides, I'm not going to crawl in my bag with tree sap and junk and mud all over my pants. I know I'm laying on my sleeping bag right now, but I've got my muddy knees pointing towards the side. But these are absolutely incredible. It says Nature Hike Outlast underwear. So maybe it is the Outlast brand or line. I can't really remember. They're awesome though, and they're very affordable too. Yeah, so it must be the Outlast, and these are an extra large. So yeah, I want to throw these on because I'm desperately hot and sticky and just feel nasty. But like, what are your favorite brands for hiking gear? That's kind of where I was going with that. Me, my top 5, I'd have to say Columbia, Fjallraven, Patagonia, North Face, and Marmot. Those are my top 5. And basically my entire wardrobe consists of that. Just high-end gear, really, really works well. I mean, it's all form-fitting. It's a piece of gear. It's more than clothing. It's a piece of gear, like your rain jacket. You really want a Gore-Tex rain jacket. This is from Mountain Warehouse. I took the liner out of it, but this is a Gore-Tex jacket. I mean, absolute rain-proof, waterproof. So having a camera and phone and batteries on you, it's important for me to, not only for me to stay dry, but for my camera gear to stay dry. So I look at clothing now as a piece of gear, just like a high-end tent. I don't look at clothing as like fashionable or something comfortable to wear. I look at something that's comfortable, fashionable, and useful as a piece of camping gear. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know what your favorite brands are, though. I'm actually pretty interested. Yeah, so I'm gonna get changed. I'll be right back. All right, guys, changed into some base layers right now, and super comfortable. Boomer's looking like he's inching his way closer and closer. Just get your sweater off there, mister. No, 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 no. You don't have your boots on yet, man. He has tent slippers. Roll over. He knows he's not allowed on the bed because his nails will puncture the sleeping pad, and it's very expensive. I don't want it ruined. So, and it's really warm right now, guys, honestly. He does not need to be on the bed. I've given him this little sit mat. He's refusing to use it because he knows that basically if I don't see him on it and I fear that he's cold, he'll go in the sleeping bag. Well, tough love today because it's not cold anymore, mister. So he's gonna get used to sleeping on the floor again. It's springtime coming into summer. So plus I've got my beautiful fleece right here. This is gonna be my pillow for tonight for myself. I did not bring my inflatable pillow, so I'm gonna be using this. Off you go, man. Get going. Get going. Here. Yeah, he's inching his way. Inching. Yeah. Hilarious. So I'm going to be using this for my pillow this evening. Get that right up there. I do have snacks in here as well. I brought some coconut. I've got that extra naan bread. Boomer's got some treats in here. Breakfast, I'm going to be doing oatmeal and dried, let me see, dehydrated strawberries and bananas mixed in with my homemade oatmeal, which has shredded coconut in it, as well as these coconut little nibs. These are great. These are from Walmart, actually. They're only $1 a bag. 40 grams of Thai young coconut, so it's soft enough to chew, but it's not sugared. It's actual just coconut. Very, very good. I'll probably eat these tonight. This is kind of like my substitute for potato chips lately. I'm going back to healthier food, so no more junk. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. The stove's burning really nice right now. Both doors are still wide open. I got a nice cross breeze coming through here. That's damped down about halfway. It's got some hardwood in there, so it'll burn low and slow. Light on right now. I'll probably get that shut off for a little bit. Wait for it to actually be dark out, because it's not totally dark right now. But I'm going to relax for a little bit. Probably pop on a movie on my phone, because I have some things saved from Netflix. Suicide Squad. I'd like to watch that tonight. So, yeah. Basically, I'm going to wrap it up for this evening. If it starts pouring with rain, I'll get the camera out. But I think this is going to be us for the evening right now. Already changed into base layers. He's ready for bed. Yeah, entertainment time. We're just going to kick back, enjoy the stove. The beautiful thing with this fast fold stove is you can see the flames. Even though there's no side window, through the hinges on the sides, I can actually see in the stove and still see the flickering flames. This is something I get asked a lot, and I see it pop up on a lot of other channels too. People saying the stove's not airtight, it's going to leak smoke. No, that's not true. Let me just clear the air of this right now really quickly. That is not true. The reason why these stoves are not airtight is because they breathe through the holes. So even though the draft is closed, the body of the stove has a draft. Those are all the little cracks and nooks and crannies that are letting oxygen in and letting light out. So the only time these stoves leak smoke, 2 times. One, if your spark arrestor is clogged or you got the damper slammed shut so it can't breathe properly on the exhaust. Second reason is if you have the stove pointing into the wind. So if there's wind blowing directly in the door, it's going to force the smoke out of the sides. So close your door. Close the door to the tent, problem solved. But I have not had any issues with any brand of titanium wood stove. This is a Pomali, but I haven't had any issues with any of these stoves that aren't airtight. I think that just comes from the newbies that don't know what they're talking about. They're not hot tenters. They're not used to using wood stoves. You're not going to find a wood stove that's airtight. It's not a thing. So don't be discouraged by that. This is how they're supposed to operate. Totally fine, totally normal. I mean, I've been hot tenting for many years. I probably have like 300 videos on this channel out of almost the 500 or 600 that I have right now. Yeah, they work totally fine. But yeah, just a little piece of information if you're wondering. So yeah, I'm going to shut this off, shut the camera off, and time to relax, guys. If I don't check in later this evening, I'll see you first thing in the morning for a hot cup of coffee. Good night, guys. Good morning, everybody. It is an absolute beautiful morning out here today. And I do have to say, it did get frosty last night. So waking up this morning, there was frost in the forest. The ground's a little bit frozen around here. Some of these leaves are crunchy and crispy with frost. And it's almost May. It's like the beginning of May almost. So very, very strange for this location. Boomer's loving his sweater though, I gotta say. He was cold last night, he snuggled up in the sleeping bag. And this morning he took off like a rabbit right out of the tent. I don't know what he was after, but he just wanted to run around the tent about 1,000,000 times. Sit right here, bud. So we've already done breakfast. I've done oatmeal with dehydrated banana and strawberries. Boomer actually had a little bit of that. Very, very enjoyable. He had some dog food and he did have a bunch of chicken last night too, so he is all full up. He wants cuddles right now. He's just ran around a bunch and he's sucking. So this morning is going to be fairly simple. I'm just finishing up my coffee right now. I got it heating up on the wood stove. And I got to enjoy my breakfast sitting just like this. All that heat rolling right into my back, which is incredible. That's one of the bonuses of bringing a wood stove, is just having that heat source nearby. It's always nice. This morning I woke up, I put my boots right next to the wood stove. I hung my pants up inside of the tent, so once that heat got lofting through the tent, by the time I put my boots and pants on, totally warm. Totally warm. So very happy with that. But I'm in the process right now burning the wood stove out. So let's take a peek inside. Oh yeah, just a little pile of coals in there. So once that gets down a little bit farther, I'm basically just going to dump that into the fire pit, and it'll be safe in there. I'll douse it with water before I take off. But this morning's going to be a really quick pack up. Just bang the stove down, get the tent down, everything packed inside the backpack. And the reason for that is it is supposed to be warmer today, hitting a peak of about 15 to 16 degrees Celsius. And with all of my gear, I do not want to be hiking in warm weather. So I want to get out of here while it's still a little bit fresh, crispy, and cold. And who doesn't like a morning hike with the woodpeckers and the wind and the frost still on the forest floor, right? Last night it did rain, which was really strange. It stopped. It only went for about an hour. It came in quite heavy, but it was in like little spurts, like little showers. So the tent got drenched, and I got up and I was like, oh, I should do some filming, and then it stopped. And then I laid back down, was watching my movie, and started again, and then it stopped. So off and on, little kind of micro storms or whatever rolling through here. But nothing's frozen, so it dried up. It was really windy last night, and looking around the forest, like there's no ice anywhere that I could see, but it did frost up, so that was pretty awesome. So we did get the rain, we got the frost, we got the cold, we got the hot tent. We got a mixed bag of things on this trip, and that's what I love about springtime camping. It's always enjoyable. So I'm going to finish up this coffee, get all this stuff cleaned up, and get the tent down and get the pack up process rolling. Alright guys, got everything totally packed up inside the backpack. That was a little bit of a struggle, but everything's in there and it is time to get out of here. So the fire pit is totally extinguished. I used a little bit of water left over and my leftover coffee to put it out. Stirred the coals. It's been about 20-25 minutes. I've been sitting here packing up and no smoke. So we are good to go. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought about this adventure. I'm packed up and ready to get out of here. The morning sun is still coming up. Still crisp and cold. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next adventure.